I used to born in South Korea. The funny way is my mom just don't tell her parents she's pregnant, I'm sorry for my English, and she ran away, and she was a teacher too. So my dad was a judo coach, and he was very away from the country. He was in Germany, I guess, at the same time, and she just lived in a little village, and in the 7th month, she birthed me. And the funny thing about is it's a Red Cross hospital, middle of the street, and I was born at the garlic field. Growing up, my parents became obsessed to force me to be male. So I love to dance. I love to, of course, like dancer, I love to be being a ballet dancer, and I love to play violin. But I don't know why they tried to avoid me to play violin. Instead of them, they just sent me to the piano lesson, and the effect is everything was like destroyed because my brain was thinking I would like to be a violinist. As you look at me, I was very female looking when I was young, and people always changed me as a girl, so the surrounding forced me to be a girl at the same time. So I was forced by 2 genders, even I didn't know it at that time, but my parents get the idea I could be in another way, so maybe they are very afraid. So I became always this forcing being something. And I was asking why, because I want to be someone special myself. And my wish was, when I was very young, at 3 years old, I would like to be Miss Universe. I think it happened when I was born, and because I was only confused by this forcing things that I should be male and female, all the rules. I was always a little rebel, and at the same time, I was naive. I didn't understand exactly what they wanted from me then. And I was, I tried everything. Sexually, I tried everything. And so if you want to just explain diversity, I did everything. With a funny twist, I was engaged, for example, she was not ready for being lesbian. I was not ready for gay. So, and she saw me as a woman. I saw it with a man. And so we have everything going on. And that I tried with another way. So this is another story. This is very, very long. But I wasn't afraid. I was very curious. And even when I grew up, you have find your body's changing. My parents never told me what is about sexuality and where babies comes from. So I choose the library, went there and read a lot of books of biology and genetic, and it becomes a little bit obsessed because I read books about the 10 great shades of depression. I read everything and I was saying, oh my God, the world is very complicated. I was with a lot of girls dating, and then suddenly I became the problem that, how women's thinking, working, arguing together, and I didn't understand, honestly. And so I thought, well, maybe I try to change. And when I started to study in university, and I went to university, and suddenly I flipped my mind. But the funny thing about that is, or very weird thing about my experience was, I start to try the female side of me, just wearing skirts, long hair, and at the same time to dating with the guys. So it was very double bilingual experience I had then again. And that time we have techno parties, love parade, and it's going on. And I had this ability to change and to costume myself, to express myself. And fashion, of course, is always an expression then again. I had the little freedom through my profession. And I felt this is something I don't like to miss. I was very self-confident in myself, and I told my parents of course get in panic, etc. But I thought this is something I have to tell my parents. This is fairness and engage. But at the same time, I realized my friends have hard time, and all the young people coming in the next generation, and the public, all the television thing with coming out, it's very hard. And I thought, well, I feel easy and I feel comfortable what I am, and maybe I should start to help and support my friends, my surrounding. I started with the fashion, and fashion combines always with fashion show. And I really love to art direct fashion shows or choreograph fashion shows. So it became more and more that I was involved in this position. It was and at the same time I was modeling, and the modeling became, I had a special category. I was like booked as the middle section. I was not women, I was not men. At the same time, I always did something is very expressing. I like this avant-garde and this destructive way to express with hands. When I was dancing like voguing, I love to express very like contemporary way, and I love the audience. I don't know why. I feel so comfortable. I always had a connection to perform in the theater, but I think 2017, I was asked Britney. Britney is, Britney Festival is it's a festival about LGBT feminism and held in Cologne is annually. And then they asked me if I do a performance. And this time, at that time, I was friended with a friend. He is a contemporary dancer, and she is my colleague, or she was my colleague, with fashion designer. We try to express ourselves, telling something with our story, the intolerance of the tolerance. we experienced a lot of different collectives, and we became now Cabaret Cologne. It was the idea of Cabaret Cologne, bringing the cabaret, because we have a golden 20s. Coming back with golden 20s, we have a lot of beautiful things going on. We have lip syncing, of course. We are living in drag queen world, and we have burlesque, classic burlesque, and stand-up comedy, live performance. It's a bunch of program. It's about 2 hours, and we're showing diversity. I gave a lesson in Kassel, and it was like a coincidence because I performed, that time with the Voodoo Chanel, and in Kassel in Documenta. At the same time, I just start with my online art, and I gave a workshop about feminism, about female thoughts. I just brought everyone who were thinking like in a feministic or female way, and I call it like Amazon camp. It wasn't a day experience. I gathering them together, and I gave them an artistic, physical, mental challenges, and they have to really grow into some kind of democracy and hierarchy, like between the women, between female thinking. And second day, I brought two men into the experience, so they completely change their strategy. We know from the childhood, we learn just without manipulating, without erasing something in one line, the picture. This is a technique we well know in classic way, but it became more and more my anti-stress program, and I was developing more and more, and finally friends just pushed me to exhibit something in this way, and I thought it was a good way to combine everything, because I was in the middle of all this experience, and then I gave at the same time workshop, the motivation workshop for people who wants to be creative. It's kind of brainstorming, brain one-line thing. I have to teach students from different category, different diversity of faculty, and refugees, and the people from the street. So at that time, it was like 1 year ago, I had the church behind me, the university behind me, and I was challenged to teach them. And they never told me what I should do, because they never told me that I was teaching in the church, middle of the church, in the room space. And people come together, and I start to develop in a short time something from zero to hero. We try to upcycle a lot of materials to invent new clothes. I teach them how to just embrace your creativity. And as an art director, I love to show something, and then I call the newspaper. That's what I want to achieve, that everyone has the future, kind of future they can start. And I'm so proud of my students. One of the students, I had a Zoom project this semester. They are now designers. I was invited from you to Belgrade. I was so amazed, and I was inspired because I know the history of Belgrade. Became a new young city and has a lot of struggle and time before. And then I see the place, KC Grad, and you, and a lot of people, young people, having a beautiful creativity, and there is some kind of paradise island of creation. And I was so inspired. And you are middle of them and celebrating LGBT pride. And I'm very thankful for that. Wow, this beautiful little young city are so tough, and you are tough, honestly. You are very tough, and you are so inspiring. I know its definitions is so important, but my point is starting with LGBTEQ. Now we call it LGBTQQERR and POC and more. And it's a long alphabet. And I think my wish is this old hashtag is gone and just hashtagging human or just life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ding! Work it, Arbeitsamt. Work it, Arbeitsamt. 조금 더 끝. Arbeitsamt. 조금 더 끝. Arbeitsamt.